Hey dear, it's Tanya. Welcome to my channel. If you're seeing this video, then it means that we probably did it. We went skydiving. Oh yeah, I decided to record this video before our skydiving day, so you can hold us accountable and we actually do it. And if we chicken out, well, you'll know. Alright, so what is fear? Why do we feel it? Can it be good? And if it's not good, how can we overcome it? Can we overcome it? All that in the next few minutes. But first, a quick reminder. If you haven't already, subscribe now and hit the bell button so you're always up to date. Cool beans. So, what is fear? The biggest motivational factor of all humans. Most animals too, if not all living beings. Its definition says that fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Okay, so there's the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Interesting. Because another source says that fear is an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. Right, now we're getting closer. Anticipation or awareness of danger, not just the danger itself. So I believe that fear is good. It's why the evolution works. It's why we're no longer living in caves and we have social media, for example. Fear is something that causes us to be creative and resourceful. We created social media maybe out of fear of boredom or fear of being alone or fear of not belonging, etc. So I kept digging and I actually found this. And here is where it gets interesting. Fear is an unpleasant thought that you have when you are frightened or worried by something dangerous, painful, or bad that is happening right now, or that might happen. So now we can see that it's not only the present, but the future afterwards, right? And our fear for the future is often, if not always, influenced by the past experiences, past mistakes, past dangers, etc. Plus, the emotion and the thought are very closely intertwined. So, when too much fear influences our present and our creativity, we get blocked. There's something stopping us from moving forward. Here is when we talk about anxiety, right? And that is no longer good. Let me know in the comments if you've ever experienced like long-term emotions of fear, if you've ever dealt with anxiety. So, have you heard the famous quote or acronym which says that fear is false evidence appearing real? This says it all, right? False evidence appearing real. Now, this reminds me of Albert Einstein and his quote,
"Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one."
Albert Einstein also said that
time is an illusion.
And I'm sure he would say the same about fear. Just an illusion. And yet, if fear is just an illusion, why does it appear so real? Why does it affect us so much to the point of sometimes completely paralyzing us? Okay, so I think at this point we need some examples. I want to know, what is your biggest fear? Is it, for example, I don't know, experiencing a devastating earthquake or flooding, being fired or losing your biggest client, maybe missing a flight that you paid thousands of dollars for? Or is it losing a loved one? Years ago, I remember finding a statistic that the biggest fear of most of people are snakes. And right after comes public speaking. Sounds familiar? Is it snakes or public speaking for you? I'm obviously not afraid of public speaking. I mean, if YouTube counts as public speaking, right? And while I'm not the biggest fan of snakes, I'm actually more afraid of spiders than snakes. How about you? Alright, so my husband is afraid of heights, right? When you're on top of the hill and you look down, you're like, I don't think I feel good here. So the first summer that we were together, I convinced him to go ziplining. And not any zipline. In Montreal, we have the biggest urban zipline in Canada. And I remember how scared he was. We were all ready to go. He was all ready to go. And then he completely froze. Earth calling Sammy. He did it anyway, and he was super proud of himself afterward. But you can imagine that it took me almost a decade to convince him to go skydiving. I mean, it is a big deal. Have you ever been skydiving? Let me know in the comments. We have it booked in a few weeks. I hope we didn't just like try doing it. Of course, not after the video that I put out last week. We should not try something, we should actually do it, right? So we'll see just in a moment if we actually did it. But first, why did Sammy agree to do it? What does it have to do with his fear? Well, like you know, his greatest fear is, or maybe was now, heights. He knows that personal growth comes from facing your greatest fears, and then he was ready. He was simply ready to do it. As for myself, you already know that my greatest fear is spiders. There will soon come a day when I'm ready to face spiders too. But what I did face not long ago is this. After being poked again and again, probably like a few hundred times, and I'm not even exaggerating, in 3 months, back to back in 2021, emergency C-section, bad complications, open heart surgery, etc., I developed serious fear of needles. So once I had physically recovered and my emotional healing journey finally began, about 5 months after the surgery, I decided to face my fear of needles. How did I do it? I did it with acupuncture. And it was quite an experience. I know I cried so much during the first couple of the sessions because of fear. It didn't hurt, for sure not, because of the fear. So what I gained from that and what you'll get from overcoming your greatest fears is freedom. It's simply indescribable and it's priceless. The joy and the feeling of empowerment that comes from it is definitely worth every risk. Of course, it should not actually put your life at risk, right? So, what are you afraid of? Let me know in the comments once again. And are you ready to face it head on? Are you ready to overcome your fear? Now, many of you may be playing with the idea of starting a business, but are equally afraid of doing it. Maybe you're afraid of, judgment. What will people say? Afraid of failure, afraid of standing out, being different. I invite you to put all the things on the balance and weigh the risks versus potential gains, right? When you're ready, I'll be here for you with my resources and my free training to get you going. See the link to my Facebook group below. And if you want personalized and private support, then let's talk. And who knows, maybe we do skydiving together one day, or even play with spiders together. And now, drum roll please, let's see, did we do it? Reason why we lose. Thanks for watching. I think it would be pretty cool if you subscribed. Also, my daughter Sia gets a tickle every time someone likes a video. So if you love babies, well, you know what to do.